The 3 intake mistakes that cost podiatry practices new patients. Hi, I'm Jessica Taveras. For the past 15 years, I've worked with podiatry practices across the country, helping them grow through better marketing, stronger systems, and smarter patient experiences. And one of the biggest surprises I see is this. Most practices spend a lot of time worrying about marketing when the real problem is intake. Because it doesn't matter how many people find your practice if they never become patients. So let's talk about 3 intake mistakes that quietly cost podiatry practices new patients every day. Mistake number 1, you're measuring calls, not conversions. Most practices can tell me how many phone calls they received last month. Very few can tell me how many of those calls actually became appointments. And that's a problem. Let's say your practice receives 100 new patient calls. If only 70 of those calls are scheduled, you've lost 30 opportunities before they ever walk through the door. Now imagine your average new patient generates hundreds, even thousands of dollars in revenue over their lifetime within the practice. Those missed opportunities add up quickly. One of the first metrics every practice should track is new patient call conversion rate. How many prospective patients called? How many actually scheduled? If you don't know that number, you don't know how much growth you're leaving on the table. And you can't improve what you don't measure. Mistake number 2, creating friction during scheduling. Patients today expect convenience. If scheduling feels difficult, many will simply move on. And I see this happen all the time. Long hold times, multiple transfers, insurance discussions that become confusing, requests to call back later, limited appointment availability. Every extra step creates friction, and friction kills conversion. Think about it from the patient's perspective. They're already in pain. They're already frustrated. They finally decided to call. The last thing they want is another obstacle. The easier you make it to schedule, the more likely they are to choose your practice. Ask yourself, if a new patient called my office right now, how easy would it be for them to get an appointment? Mistake number 3, your team is answering questions instead of building confidence. And this may be the biggest mistake of all. Many front desk teams focus on answering questions. Patients are looking for something different. They're looking for confidence. A patient may call and ask, do you treat heel pain? Do you accept my insurance? How soon can I get in? But underneath those questions is another question. Can you help me? The most successful intake teams don't just provide information. They reassure, they guide, they create confidence. They make patients feel like they've called the right place. A patient who feels understood is much more likely to schedule than a patient who simply got an answer. And this is why training matters, because intake isn't just administrative. It's sales, it's customer service, it's patient experience, and it's one of the most important growth systems in your practice. If your practice is investing in marketing but not paying attention to intake, you're probably losing patients you already paid to attract. The good news, most intake problems are fixable. Start by tracking your conversion rate, reduce scheduling friction, and train your team to build confidence, not just answer questions. Because growth doesn't happen when the phone rings. Growth happens when that caller becomes a patient. And that starts with intake. And if this topic resonates with you, this is exactly the type of conversations we'll be having at the Top Practices Summit this October. We'll be covering everything from patient acquisition, intake systems, retention referrals, profitability, leadership, and practice growth. If you've ever wondered where patients are falling through the cracks in your practice, the summit is designed to help you identify those opportunities and build systems that support long-term success. Visit toppractices.com to learn more, and I hope to see you there.